arrived in the Mid-Atlantic region of the U.S., and it is a glorious afternoon at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Detroit Lions. Brennan Gaudin alongside, as always, my partner Charles Davis. And CD, in the few moments here before kickoff, let's give these folks at home a look at these two offenses by the numbers. What stands out to you?
Brandon, I just continue to be amazed by the analytics of the game, and it's an area where I continue to concentrate and study because I'm still trying to figure out how coaches and coordinators can really crunch the numbers and find where exactly on the field the defense is vulnerable. It's the game within the game. And if you really dive into it, it can be endlessly fascinating.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the first overall selection of the 2016 draft. From Cal, it's Jared Goff.
And at one point, the ascension of Jared Goff was really, really strong. Back-to-back Pro Bowls, took his team to the Super Bowl, and came really within one quarter of winning it. But since that time, he's had bouts of inconsistency, and that's been the struggle for him as he tries to get back to the form he showed earlier in his career.
7 yards, the pickup there. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get to ball carriers. But in this case, I think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. To throw is Goff. Flush to his right. And Goff picks up the first down and then wisely slides to the ground to avoid the contact.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. It was Tyus Bowser that time who made the play on the defensive side. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll try the air now with Goff. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So, Charles, first drive here, a little safe completion underneath. Maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to her back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Goff. And he's got his big tight end here. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 16.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Meanwhile, Goff's throw here into the hands of Jones. Touchdown! Marvin Jones. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. That time a 9-play drive. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. First carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Jackson going to run again. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming. Now a handoff for Dobbins. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll go option to the short side. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. A big pickup there on the run. So this play, until recently, only something you probably expect to see in a college game, but running quarterbacks are certainly in vogue, and this turned into a big play.
And you and I both know that for a long time, coaches worried about their quarterbacks taking too much punishment, running plays like this, and they still worry about it. But when you can break up big chunks of yardage like that, it's worth the risk. Plus, you're coaching that quarterback to see those guys coming and get down before the big hit occurs.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Well, Lamar Jackson, for all the talents of escaping pressure that he possesses, he was helpless to do much of anything there. He had no chance.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line. And these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot, and they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center and the guard in no time and got there to make the play.
Tucker's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So from an offensive perspective, at least able to get on the board here right in front of the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, now it's time to talk about complementary football, isn't it? Because if the defense can force a 3-and-out, there could be enough time on the clock that they can get the ball back for their offensive guys and maybe put some more points on the board before the half.
And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out. Jared Goff and the rest of the Lions offense set to go to work once more. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter and continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time?
They were really good on the last drive.
I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Goff caught left side, Williams. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. We remind you in just a couple of minutes we'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this first half of football so far. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down. This one swung out to Montgomery. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Goff's throw going into the hands of Williams. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On 1st and 10, Goff. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Goff throwing again. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. They'll run for it with Montgomery. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder. And they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So now it's 3rd and goal. This Raven defense trying to keep him out of the end zone. Gone. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Lions will extend their lead here just before halftime. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Point after try forthcoming. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. A 10-play drive that time. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This fielded right at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, no kneeling for them. They decided they weren't going to run out the clock. They decided to take their shot downfield, hoping to either make a connection or a pass interference call. They wanted more points to put on the board.
He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Sutton. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Lions. And there were a few factors as to why they built this good-size advantage, but the rushing numbers were not all that amazing. We'll see if they can pick it up in the second half. Both teams going back through their game plans, making their final halftime adjustments. And for the call of the second half, we go back up to Baltimore and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. To throw again on set. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Jackson. Under pressure, and they got to him again. It'll go in the books as a sack and a loss of a yard, but more importantly, it leads to fourth down. The Ravens send their punter out now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Lions will take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Goff on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. On 2nd and 9, Goff. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Now it's Goff. He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Handoff comes to Montgomery. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Goff now looking to throw. Flushed out right, and he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th. They go ahead and snap it. Goff. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line.
Here we go.
So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Jared Goff with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Lions have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already. Just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up 1st downs. And if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? Trying to drop it in there, but it's intercepted. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. And the Lions are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Well, just another reason to celebrate there on the defensive side with the interception, and this is a game that they clearly have firmly in their grasp.
Yeah, a lot of handshakes, a lot of hugs, a lot of smiles. It's been their day.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Here's Jackson to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete. Nearly intercepted. The free safety couldn't quite get his hands around it, and it brings up third down. The Ravens on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Jackson. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th. And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. They're going for it with Dobbins. Let's go. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. He's going to let it fly. Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Lions are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
Detroit's offense ready to take over. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They'll go to Montgomery to try to wind some clock. And he'll find a little space. He gets this up near the 10. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. And now we're going to get a delay of game. And that's going to back him up halfway. They were already backed up. Now they're backed up further.
I think they were being so careful to make sure all assignments were covered that they ended up running themselves out of time.
Buying time to his left. And the ball is knocked out. And the Ravens have got it.
In today's NFL, most teams don't have as many goals for the game like we used to have where you checked off your boxes. But 0 turnovers, that's a universal. And while it won't likely cost them in this game, they're going to regret the fact that they coughed one up here.
Yeah, their first blemish. They had mistake-free. And he's going to be taken down. Back around the 18-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Here's Jackson. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. One last shot for Jackson. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.